You know, you've got to remember that politics is all about climbing up the greasy pole, you see.
You see, here's the thing. If you are completely and utterly lacking in any sense of self-awareness, and you're absolutely oblivious to what anybody else thinks, you're perfectly suited to be a political leader. If, on the other hand, you are dripping with empathy and you take seriously what other people say, then you run the risk of being very badly hurt. So how do you match? How can you be an effective political leader and be a human being?
It's great to be here at Woodford, particularly with my colleague Wyatt Roy, who's the member for Longman. You know, Wyatt, actually, he's got something in common with Bob Hawke, who's also here today. Wyatt and Bob Hawke are the exceptions to the rule that politics is show business for ugly people. And it's good. It's good to see it, but I don't know whether Wyatt. I don't know whether you'll be as handsome as Bob is at his age.
Let's just try one more argument from somebody who voted against gay marriage in Parliament.
The threat to marriages is not what gay people may do. It is lack of commitment. It is cruelty. It is indifference. It is adultery. It is all of those things.
That does change my view of gay marriage. Will you marry me, Malcolm?
But you know what it will lead to?
What?
If that happens, then you'll start, you know, looking favourably at small animals.
He knows about this.
Oh, no,
Please,
no.
Malcolm.
No, I want to spare both you and the animal kingdom.
It is our job, above all in politics, to tackle the big issues and to explain them and have the honesty to say to people there are no easy solutions here.
Keep in mind that in our fight against ISIL, Australia is the second largest contributor of troops on the ground after the United States. They have been a consistent and extraordinarily effective member of the coalition that has helped to deliver an opportunity for the Afghan people to govern themselves.
We have to constantly lift our game in the way we engage with and tackle these extremists, particularly ISIL, but there are many others, as they operate in the cybersphere. Archaic and barbaric though they may be, their use, regrettably, of the internet is very sophisticated. And so I'm pleased that we're going to be working on even closer collaboration there. My firm belief is that to be a successful leader in 2015, perhaps at any time, you have to be able to bring people with you by respecting their intelligence in the manner you explain things.
First cab off the rank is Malcolm Turnbull. Now, Malcolm's big problem is that for all his talents, he can't shake the perception that he's arrogant and superior.
Yeah, and obviously that's something we can't fix. So we're focusing on something else, his MP travel allowance.
Yeah, that's right. Now, under the rules, every Polly's entitled to $175 allowance a day to cover their accommodation costs when they're in Canberra. Now, Malcolm doesn't actually stay at a hotel, though. He stays in an apartment owned by his wife and gives the $175 to her.
Fair enough. The Turnbulls need every cent they can get. They're only worth $100 million.
Yeah, well, it was news to me that Lucy Turnbull was running a hotel in Canberra. So last time I was there, I tried to book myself a room.
Who is this?
It's Julian from The Chaser. I'm in Canberra for the night.
Julian.
Very good to see
nice
you. It's good. I'm in Canberra for the night and I need somewhere to stay. I wonder if I could lease this place from your wife. Is that all right?
No, well, you know, my wife is very concerned about who I spend the night with. And
Well,
you're the type of fellow that I don't think she'd want to have in the
Well, the
place,
only problem is I've only got like about $100, and how much is it for you?
No, it's not the money. It's not
$175 a night, isn't it?
No, it's not the money, it's you see.
Have you seen some of the good quality accommodation you can get around Canberra, Malcolm? Look at that. Budget in, that's less than $175 a night. Much better, very good service.
Oh, adult films on demand? Well, that's obviously more to your taste.
Right, OK. All right, well, I suppose you can afford it, can't you? But then again, you're not really paying for it. We're paying for it.
Oh, look, that's a pathetic thing to say.
Oh, come on.
I could sleep under that tree. It doesn't matter where I stay. The government pays me the same amount, right?
I just think the landlord's not giving you a good deal. I just reckon you should negotiate with
That's between me and the landlord.
Right, OK. Well, so you're going to turf me out? Where am I going to stay?
No, I think you should go. I think clearly the adult films is what you need, and you should go somewhere else.
It's the Canberra budget in. Well, at least one of us is looking after the budget then. Okay. See ya.
He was the brilliant young barrister and merchant banker who took the Liberals by storm.
4 years. What took you so long?
But his perfect world was about to fall apart forever. This summer, one man, one email.
Is a fake, it's a forgery.
And the public servant that would threaten his political career.
Your responsibility is what you do with information like that if you get your hands on it.
Coming soon.
Is this the showdown that you have to have?
All the infighting.
I'm sure someone else would run the party better.
All the policies.
I will not be supporting the bill under any circumstances.
All the loyalty.
Malcolm has my absolute support.
In the political thriller you just can't avoid.
Political fortunes can change quickly.
The Narcissist.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Well, this is we are a parliamentary system. You know, we are a Westminster system, or Washminster, some political scientists call us. But we're a parliamentary system. And so the leader of any parliamentary party remains leader only so long as he or she has the confidence of the party room. As John Howard always used to say, the leader serves at the pleasure of the party room. And so when the party room makes changes of their mind about that, when they make a judgment such as they've done today, then the leadership can change. And that is inherent. That's one of the characteristics of a parliamentary system, one of the flexibilities that it has over other systems.
Wentworth, Malcolm Bligh Turnbull, Dixon, Peter Craig Dutton, Menzies, Kevin James Andrews, Flinders, Gregory Andrew Hunt, Cook, Scott John Morrison. Honourable members, making an oath, please take the Bible in your right hand. Do each of you swear that you will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, her heirs and successors, according to law, so help you God?
I do, so help me God.
Your Excellency, may I present the Prime Minister Designate, the Honourable Malcolm Turnbull MP.
Mr Turnbull, I invite you to take the oath of office as Prime Minister.
I, Malcolm Bligh Turnbull, do swear that I will well and truly serve the people of Australia in the office of Prime Minister, and that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, the Queen of Australia, so help me God.
Opposition leader Malcolm Turnbull joins us tonight live from Canberra. Mr Turnbull, good evening. Thanks so much for your time. Look, when you got the job... Great to be with you, Matt. Thanks. Look, when you got the job, a lot was made about your personal wealth, estimated at 120 million. These are tough times. Are you as wealthy today as you were a couple of weeks ago?
Well, Matt, firstly, congratulations to you on getting your job. And secondly, look, I don't think anybody other than someone who perhaps has had all of their assets in a bank account has not been affected by this incredible change that we've seen in stock markets and, of course, in other in other markets. So
really, if the honourable member wants to go around wearing a sandwich board saying Malcolm Turnbull's got a lot of money, feel free. I think people know that. But you may remember at the end of 2008, when the global financial crisis was really hitting in a big way, there was a panic on, and a number of European countries passed laws to guarantee their banks' borrowings, their wholesale borrowings. And we did the same in Australia. And not only did we agree to it, but we actually voted for the legislation to make it happen. In fact, a longer story, but the legislation wouldn't have been passed had I not encouraged the government to do it. I was the leader of the opposition at the time. Now, some will claim that this range of new global threats we see today are symptoms of receding American will or power, and that we are watching the fraying of the post-war order. We reject those pessimists. America is stronger than ever.
its economy has rebounded from the Great Recession.
How's that for a paragraph of...
That was bullshit.
Total bullshit.
Well, the challenge for any leader. Sorry, I can't see it. There's a photographer in front. Hello, you're still there. The challenge for any leader and every leader is to ensure that he or she brings together and brings together, in the case of the Liberal Party, the broad church of the Liberal Party. The Liberal Party is the largest, most diverse grassroots political organisation in Australia.
You know what that is?
Oh, come on now. That ain't even bullshit. That's horse shit.
Pure horseshit. Because it's another day in Dumbfuckistan.
The major party candidates for the federal seat of Wentworth presented their credentials to the Jewish community, Malcolm Turnbull wasting no time in reaffirming his support for Israel.
The coalition, the Liberal and National parties, believe that Israel stands in the front line, in the front trench, in the battle against terror. A battle that we cannot afford to lose. And we are shoulder to shoulder with Israel in that battle. It is absolutely vital that we in Australia, as one of Israel's few, sadly, absolutely unequivocal allies, gives the State of Israel that unequivocal support. And it's particularly important right now, today, as you reflect on the fast of Tisha B'Av, on the security of Israel. The territory of the State of Israel is just a pocket handkerchief of land. So little space between the border with the West Bank and the sea. So little, no real strategic depth in which to defend itself. Israel faces existential threats that we in Australia cannot even begin to comprehend. You can stand on land in the West Bank, which, because of its elevation, is almost a stone's throw from Tel Aviv and the airport, Ben Gurion Airport. The vulnerability of Israel is extraordinary, and that is why we need to support Israel and recognise that geographical reality of Israel's vulnerability. It faces a truly existential threat, of course, not just from its immediate neighbours, but from Iran. So Israel must face the reality that in its negotiations for a settlement with its neighbours, that settlement must be based on secure, in accordance with the UN resolution, secure, defendable borders. It must be in a position to defend itself, because there is a fundamental duty, as I said at Central not so long ago, the fundamental duty of every state, the State of Israel, the State of Australia, the State of the United States, is to defend the security of its citizens. And we must defend Israel and support Israel in that measure. Now, as I said, the State of Israel has had strong bipartisan support across the board, and I'm proud of that. To my regret, and I know to the regret of many of you, since the Rudd government was elected, there have been some changes. Mr Rudd would have said subtle changes, but changes nonetheless in the level of support that has been given to Israel, particularly in the United Nations. There was a vote in the UN in March where Australia abstained from a resolution demanding that Israel and Hamas investigate possible war crimes during the conflict in Gaza. Now, that was very strongly criticised by the Zionist Federation here in Australia. Now, look, I don't want to make a partisan issue out of this. I just think that this is an area where subtlety is often lost. What Israel needs, with so few strong allies in the world, is unequivocal support. And you have that from the coalition, you will always have it from the coalition, and in particular, you will always have it from me.